Hey, there it is. How's it going, everybody? My name is Mattshotcha. I'm your friendly neighborhood lead community developer here at Gun Media. I got super serious there at the end. Today we have a new episode of Beyond. And for those of you who don't know, on Tuesdays we run a show called Beyond, where we talk about all things that Gun is working on, all the news and everything coming out of Gun. Basically, yeah, we're going to cover a couple of different topics today. We are actually going to cover a minor update on Layers of Fear 2, a minor update on Friday the 13th, as well as take some community questions from you guys. But before we do all that cool stuff, let's get some hellos out of the way. I see a Paul Smash, Steady Goes, Marrow Jr., Icetronics, how's it going? We got Nick from Slash and Cast, Sarah Dope. We got South Stance, Justin, Galaxy Graves, Havoc, how's it going? And yeah, Slash and Cast, make every death count, man. This is really dope shirt. Some of my friends sent me. All jokes aside, thank you very much for the t-shirt, man. We appreciate it. Mad Moxie's here. Hey, Peanut. And then over on Mixer, we got Jeffree Star, Numenon Gaming, and JJC, Valdemarin, it looks like. How's it going, everybody? Okay, I know that podcast. Yeah, they cast and they slash and they do the cool things. So yeah, we've got Ellie Rainbow. How's it going? We've got some cool news today. As well as, I'm sure a lot of you guys are waiting for an update on Friday the 13th. Let's get that one out of the way real quick. The Friday the 13th issues with getting on the roof on Packanack and all that, you guys all know this issue pretty well. You guys also, I would like to think, know how we're going about fixing this. For anybody who is just getting caught up, I want to, kind of address real quick what we're looking at and how we're approaching this issue. The short answer is we don't want to do some things like, kind of band-aiding the area. A couple of people we've talked before on the show about kill volumes on the roof and things like that. The way we want to approach everything with this bug is in bug fixing in general, is you want to try to get to the cause. Like what is the methodology that's allowing folks to get up onto the roof? Can we fix that? Because if we can fix that, not only are we fixing the issue with Packanack roof, we're also fixing the issue that would allow them to get on any number of other places that maybe the community hasn't figured out yet, maybe we haven't seen yet, so on and so forth. So instead of saying, okay, well, now Packanack roof has a dead box above it, so if you go up there, you die, that's that. And then next thing you know, you guys are, launching yourselves into a tree. We would rather fix the methodology. And part of that is diagnosing where that hang-up starts. And it's with certain interaction things. The most common and most well-known is the bear trap, which the team has made excellent progress on. The bear trap situation, as far as how you cause the interaction slingshot, the team's pretty much tracked that one down. We're pretty confident in the fix. The thing that's still going to be holding up that fix and you guys seeing it live is that the team is going back in. We're needling through. We're combing through all the wires and trying to figure out any other issues, any other potential kind of breaks in that interaction process that could also lead to that kind of exploit. Because the goal being, we would like to put out a patch that's as complete as possible. So when the patch for the bear trap issue, getting onto roofs, really just propelling, players into areas that they can't reach. When we get that fixed, we don't have an issue where in 2 days, somebody in the community uncovers a new way to do it, and then it's a problem again. So again, trying to look at like a holistic way of looking at these issues, an entirety kind of the issue, rather than putting something out where, we've kind of fixed stopped a little bit of the bleeding, but haven't, stitched the cut. We'd like to try to make sure that we put out something completely as whole as possible. And a big part of that is combing through now that we have, the bear trap situation figured out, combing through now and trying that methodology with other items and other things and seeing what else we can break through that process before we go and get into that whole certification process with rolling a patch out. As I'm sure a lot of you guys understand, putting a patch out, especially a hot fix patch, it seems like, hey, easy peasy, you fix the thing, and then you just kind of give it to us. No, it's not really how it goes. There's a process there. And rather than get knee-deep into that process and have to either, release a patch that then we're going to have to add another patch to 2 weeks out, or B, uncover another issue 2 days after we start the process and realize that we need to either A, halt the process or enter it all over again. We'd rather just make sure that we're as clear-cut as possible. Steady Go says, sounds promising. Yes, that's the thing. getting to the bottom of that bear trap thing is that's really eye-opening for the team, because they can then use that information to go and poke around at a whole bunch of other different, different areas of the game, and hopefully get those resolved as well. But let me get through some of these questions. Something about more traps for part 9 and 7. No, we're not. We're not currently, this situation with the bear trap situation. It's folks getting on Packanack Roof. We're not trying to roll any balance changes. We're not trying to like, hey, why don't we throw this other item in there as well? Not as of right now. And if that changes, we will let you know on our socials. But as of right now, the team is just focused on stopping this silly business with folks going where they shouldn't be going. Let's see here. Traps would be more useful for any Jason if Medic didn't stack. That's a whole other issue, though, Rusty Machete. Again, that goes into the balancing topic. That's something that we will definitely, we want to talk about. We want to hear from you guys on. But I just want to make it very clear. This situation with getting onto the roof is that's what we're focused on. We need to get that stopped. So, yeah. How's it going, Wolfpack? What about the killing car with knives? That's something the team's looking into. Again, that's an issue that, if you recall back to our, my hair's caught in my headset, sorry. If you recall back to when we launched the patch that we're currently working on, kind of tuning and tweaking, we had said that the car issue would be something we would focus on for the next patch. And it's still, a prio 1 for the next patch. It's just, right now we really got to stop this situation with the roof. You guys have spoken. We hear you. It's got to stop. We got to cut it out. So basically, like I said, that's kind of the emphasis right now. And wow, my phone is over on the on the couch next to me, and it just buzzed so loud that I could hear it buzz. Jeez Louise. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're focusing on that. We're going to get that done. We're going to use the knowledge we learned from the fix for the bear trap situation and make sure that there's nothing else going on there. Rooftop. Top priority. Absolutely, Seraph. Yeah. And again, like I said, the car issue, that's not to say that, hey, we're not going to worry about that ever. It's just not right now. We got to get those people off of the roof. We got to get that figured out. We got to get that sorted out. Now, if we could circumvent teaming once the trap issue is resolved. Newman, it's a common topic here at Gun, the teaming issue. And I've said before, so, I'll say it again. It's one of those things where you have to be careful when you're trying to combat teaming, because a lot of the things that you do to combat teaming also restrict the way your average player can enjoy the game. That's not something that we want to do. We don't want one of those situations where it's like, hey, people were teaming, and, and in order to fix that, we removed this, feature, this functionality from you, the regular player, in order to stop somebody who's not playing the game as intended. That's not how we want to do. And a lot of those fixes that people brainstorm and they toss at us on socials and such, they would restrict the average player base. So we think there's a more elegant solution, a more creative solution to the teaming issue, and we're still trying to work on that. But again, curveballs being what they are, this situation with the roof has been quite the curveball. And so we have our list of items we want to get through, the car issue we want to look at. We've got the work laid out, and we don't want to start, throwing that out now in order to flip up. Jason Kills Bugs is the site. That's absolutely right. I love your game, F13. Been playing it for so long. Do wish Jason's throwing knives didn't feel so sluggish. That's an interesting thing. Do you mean the action or the timing of the knife? For me, the best way to deal with teaming is remember the names and don't engage. Seal Bob, that's a pretty good outlook, but by the same note, you can't just expect everyone to kind of have that. They're rightfully frustrated. We'll say it there. Any update on the Switch version? It's coming along nicely. The team is working. There's a whole team focused on Switch. Believe me. There's people still focusing on Switch as well. There's people focusing on getting that, buttoned up so we can announce a launch date. We don't have a launch date to announce as of right now. As soon as we do, you'll hear about it from us first on socials and everywhere else, and we'll probably do a special Beyond episode for that. We don't want to make a firm and fast date promise to you guys and then have a potential, situation. So we'd rather wait until we're 100% sure. We said a similar thing when we were talking about announcing the launch date for Layers of Fear. You can see how that went. Basically, we would much rather make that news public when it's 100% concrete, and then you guys get the delivery on the day that was promised. So every time I try to throw them, they usually don't throw at all for me, or they throw too late. That's weird. That could be a latency thing. I would say take that to Jason Kills Bugs, and maybe Gun Media Help / Gun Media Support can help out, or at least get it reported. Can we get a low latency mode for people who have bad Wi-Fi? My friend's MS goes to 999 each time we play private matches. That could be location based, Jeffrey. I don't know where they are in relation to you, but that would be an interesting thing to send over to the folks over at jasonkillsbugs.com. That's our support team. We're also on social as at Gun Media Support. Avoid cars too if they look suspicious. What? Low key trying to get Gun to do what? I'd love to hear that. What is going on there? Steady goes. California, same as you. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I think that we would need some more information from you on Jason Kills Bugs. But before we go any further here, I do want to note there's another bit of news coming out of Gun Media. You guys might have heard of a little game called Layers of Fear 2. It's launched last week. Actually, a week ago today, it launched publicly. Hey, Jeffree Star, thank you for saying I'm amazing, but I'm Matt, not Wes. Hi, I'm Matt. Wes is actually out right now. Oh, nothing when you mentioned fixing the latency of knives. Was just kidding. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so we launched Layers of Fear 2 a week ago. We had our first patch over the weekend on Saturday. There's a couple of smaller fixes in there. There's a couple of things in there about dealing with the Formless Man and the Formless Man chase sequences. There's a couple of fixes for some various issues. I'm not going to sit here and read patch notes to you guys on that. I'm going to say that Gun Media Support / Gun Media Help has those links. They'll drop them in the chat, and you guys can check out the changes made to Layers of Fear 2. Basically, things are going really great, and there's just a few things we wanted to get buttoned up. Now you'll notice that those patches are that patch is PC specific. Those changes are coming to console. It's just a matter of they'll be coming to console at a later date once we can get into the certification process there. There you go. Gun Media Support, Gun Media Help. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mighty Mel and the one and only Raj. What about Jason Mask being too easy to come off so quickly and buffing it up? Wolfpack, again, it's one of those things that we actually discussed that, I think, a couple of weeks ago on Beyond. The team has definitely reported on it. We've seen the feedback come through the forums and Reddit and social. We've also seen it come through, I want to say we've even seen it come through as a bug report, which is interesting because it's not necessarily a bug. But we have reported on it extensively. The team is looking into it. There's going to be a round of, looking at these types of balance topics and determining what we want to do. It's just not yet. And, again, part of that is not to try to sit here and give you guys a bunch of excuses, but, small team. And we're tackling the issues right now that we feel are most impacting the game for the most amount of players. And I think that we can all agree that things like Packanack Roof, the car situation, that's the biggest impact to the biggest amount of players. Still bummed about Jason X. I thought he was reading comments while he was out, but all of you guys are amazing. Well, thank you, Jeffree Star. Use block, protect mask. That's true. Just nerf Vanessa to help Jason? I don't know. Is it a straight port or build from scratch? Mainly asking if these patches are already being implemented in Switch or if game will be built to prevent glitches from start. Seraph, obviously the goal is to try and, you don't want to launch a game with issues embedded in the game at launch, but how we're going about that, I don't want to misspeak here, but obviously, having some type of parity to the live build on the other ones is a concern of ours. As far as where we are in that process, I would have to check in with the team because, again, it's kind of one of those things that's just all in part of getting it ready to get to, a ship date. So as far as where we are in that process, I would have to check in with the team, but it is obviously a concern. You don't want to, it's never the goal to be like, well, let's launch this with some broken things in it. So, any new projects you guys are working on, Uh, the last time somebody asked me about that, I mentioned a birdhouse, and I thought it was a pretty clever joke. You guys did not really appreciate it, so I'm going to try to take a little more serious approach instead of talking about my birdhouse. Wolfpack, if there was any new projects that we were working on, first off, we wouldn't break that news by you just going, "Hey man, you're making any games?" And then I would be like, "Yeah, actually, we're making this game." I think you probably already knew that, but keep an eye on our socials. Jason's environment kills not working really causes balance problems. That's another one, Cleaves, that believe me, it's a high priority item. It's just if it's going to jeopardize getting this roof fix figured out, we're going to let that one go. The situation with the environmental kills is not quite as game breaking. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here. If I'm off base, Cleaves, please call me on it. I would appreciate it. But, the situation with the environmental kills, Jason can kind of continually kill to like fluff up his numbers for the match, but it's not destroying the match for everyone. Basically, if he's got a counselor and he's trying to fluff up his, kill count, then you can always just escape, and that's the end of the match, and that's that. It's not the same as a counselor getting on a roof being unreachable and then the game just being hung up for everyone in that lobby. I love the birdhouse joke. I'm laughing again at it. Well, thanks. Somebody's got to get the joke. Hey, what's up, guys? Wish I could stay. Well, thanks for stopping in, Side B Tiger. Let's see here. Float and then break free. We grab people and they just float and then break free. Yeah. Are you talking about just a regular grab or when you grab and try to do an environmental kill? How's it going, TFR84? Thanks for the little train gif. Is that a little hype train? I like it. Jason is an animation of grab and counselor fly. So you're saying mixed stream live. I see that gif. I see. You are talking about the environmental kills where the environmental kill happens, Jason gets an extra number, the counselor still lives. Yeah, you can still kill the counselor. Scoreboard reads it as a kill, but the counselor glitches free and you have to continue to chase them and kill them again. Yes. If you don't use the environmental kill, though, here's the point we're making. If you don't use the environmental kill, you can still, use a traditional kill or a slash, if I'm not mistaken. Again, if I'm missing something, please let me know. Also, some regular kills. Okay. So that's something, I don't know if gun media help and gun media support is 100% up to date on that. But we'll have to have that. We'll have to have that checked out. Damn enchiladas. What is that about? Havoc, what are you talking about, my dude? Birdhouse skateboards, Tony Hawk asymmetrical skateboard game confirmed. I like where you're at. That's pretty cool. I still love the Darth Vader grip Jason does when the counselor breaks away. Keep it. No. Click to show. But I love your environmental kills, lol. I'm sorry. It's just, again, prioritization. Prioritization is probably the toughest part about this gig. At least on my end of it, it definitely is. Trying to explain to you guys that, allocating resources to different things and why certain things get put where and prioritized. It's like, if I could just be real with you guys, if we could just, we've got the single shot, right? We've got camera one just on your old buddy Matt. If I could just have an honesty moment with you guys, trying to explain prioritization, man, it is a road I just hate going down because there's no way you can convince somebody that the thing that they're talking about is not affecting as many people as the thing that you're working on. There's no way you can convince them because it's affecting them. Damn enchiladas was a Friday Part 5 joke, lol. I missed it. Sorry, man. I have an idea to stop the roof glitches, remove all traps, problem solved. I don't know about that. If I get in the kill glitch, I just let the Jason kill me. I don't mess around after that. Everyone has their own priority. That's true. And what's happening to you, you could be literally the only person experiencing a bug. That bug is infinitely more important than anything else going on in the game regardless because it affects you. And I understand that. I get that. I play video games too. I hate when that shit happens, when I'm the guy who's the unlucky one who's like, yeah, I have this problem that nobody else does. Oh, when Demon dies. Yeah, I remember that part. He's in the outhouse. But why was it just randomly thrown in chat was kind of more what I was asking, guys. Also, hey, fun fact. Did you know that Demon is also Spider in Return of the Living Dead? Bringing it back to my boy Tarman. If the roof gets fixed, that will make so many people happy and others very salty. It's true, Seraph, but, you know, there's a bug that is super important. There's always bugs that are super important. It's true, Seraph. It will make some salty, but, you know, there's the intended design of the game, which this is a wonderful... Again, man, we are having some community gems come out today. Intended design is a very important concept in games because as much as, you know, you want to make the community happy and all that, there is a core design and functionality of the game. It's the reason why Jason doesn't have, like, you know, tutu skins or roller skates or emotes, you know. There's a core fundamental design to the game. Inevitably, there's a wall in there somewhere that says, this is how the game is designed to function. And when people are breaking that core design, you as a community have an uphill battle convincing a development team that they should stick with that broken design. It's not that it's impossible. There are things that become the meta, things that become so normalized in video games that development teams say, hey, this is not how the design was intended, but look how well this is doing. The community's onto something. Let's run with it. But being on the roof of Packanack is not one of those things. Jason needs all those things ASAP. So Sharingan wants roller skates, a tutu, and emotes. We will get right on it. That's a dumb solution. They will find a different way up there. What's a dumb solution? Ran into a troll in my stream that said his whole purpose was to roof glitch in protest of Jason buff. That it's impossible to win after 10 minutes. Got a Jason kill in 11. Wanted to be my friend. Yeah, well, of course. Yeah, because you showed him the impossible. But his retro skins were very good. The retro skin is good, yeah. I just got here. Uh-oh, what happened? We've just steps were taken to correct this in the stream earlier. Yeah, basically, we can recap. Gun Media support's 100% right, but, you know, honestly, it's not a bad time. F13, DBD01. It's a good time to recap. Basically, what the team is doing is we've worked on the bear trap method. We've got that figured out. We're confident in our fix for the bear trap method. The thing is, through discovering that method, we've realized how exactly in the game, not necessarily players. You guys have provided more than enough steps. We see them. We appreciate them all. Please don't yell at me and say, but we told you how to do it. No, we've uncovered at, you know, in the game core design programming level, what's going on, what's causing it. And now we're needling through and combing through all the issues to make sure that there's no other as yet unseen method to getting up there using similar problems. So we want to make sure that we comb through all that, get all that fixed, that we don't have this issue where in 2 days we're like, hey, we have people going up onto the roof again. This time they're doing this. It's similar, but not the same. So, yeah. We're looking at entirety. We don't want to, again, it goes back to the topic of why we didn't just throw a kill volume up there. Not only is that problematic, I'm not a programmer. I'm not a designer. I couldn't tell you the exact details on it. But basically, the short answer is it can be problematic. It can have problems leaking into the zones below. You can have issues then with that kill volume up top where, you know, people walk into a silly corner and they just die because the game thinks they're on the roof. It can lead to so many more bugs. It's not 100%, you know, foolproof. And on top of that, it's location-based. So we would have to go through in every location that we can imagine you guys slingshotting to, add kill volumes to all of them. It's a much better method to just fix the methodology that's allowing players to get up there. Now, that's kind of uncovering a little bit more information about the situation with the bear trap that's allowing you to get up there, which is giving us pause to make sure that we comb through and we do the due diligence and we don't release a fix while not noting some other type of, you know, potential exploit. My friend played as Part 4 Retro one time. I'm not sure what you mean. I would buy Jason Cosmetics. Okay. Can't make any more content for the game, but I mean, you know, it's one of those things, guys. It's the Jason Cosmetics. it goes outside of the franchise, the franchise authenticity that we kind of pride ourselves on. And I think that anybody who plays Friday the 13th, the game, can at least note the fact that it's very lovingly recreated from the films. So, and that goes back to that conversation about that hard line of core design. Skin glitches where J4 loaded up with retro colors. Oh, I know what you mean. Instead of it being part 3 NES Jason, yeah. When I sent you that pic one night, that it happened to me. Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about now, TFR. Can we buy the counselor's clothing in real life? Oof. I don't know. There's actually been some really dope cosplays of the counselor clothing, which is pretty cool. Guys, it's looking like that about does it for the questions in here. Basically, where I'm going to leave this show, we're going to be back on Thursday with another episode of Tales from the Stream. We're going to be hanging out, chatting with you guys. And I'm not sure what we're going to be playing. I might have a surprise for you guys. We might just go with something, obviously a horror game, but something you guys weren't expecting. Because I don't want to go too deep into Layers of Fear 2. We don't want to do that on our streams. We don't want to end up playing the entire game in front of you guys. We want to let you guys kind of experience it. And we also, we want to kind of give it the breathing room it needs. Maybe at some point in the near future, we'll do Chapter 3, but not this week. This week, I think I have a surprise for you guys. But we'll be back on Thursday with Tales from the Stream. We'll be hanging out with you guys talking. And we'll be back next week with another episode of Beyond. In the interim, please do us a favor and make sure that you follow us on socials at Friday 13th Game. That's your number one source for Friday the 13th Game information. It's on Twitter. It's where you'll get all of the information about our progress with this kind of pack-a-knack, pain in the neck. Basically, yeah, you're going to want to follow us on our socials. You can ! Discord in the chat. That's going to give you a link to our Discord where you can talk to the team direct. And keep an eye on Beyond for all the latest news on all of the things that Gun Media works on. Friday the 13th, Layers of Fear 2. And, that birdhouse that I keep talking about. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I just want to real quick say to the Friday the 13th community at large, thank you guys so much for being so patient through this process. When we come in here to talk about, this situation with the roof or wherever we're at in this process, we get a little guff from you guys. It's to be expected. You guys are very frustrated, and I understand that, but I like to think that we don't get nearly as much as you guys could throw at us. You guys are pretty calm, pretty patient, pretty understanding with us, and I just wanted to say that we appreciate you guys. We appreciate your continued support, and we will provide those updates as they come in on the situation with this pack-a-knack, pain in the neck. We can get that going. Thank you very much to Gun Media Support and Gun Media Help for helping out. That's Mighty Mel and the one and only Raj. And thank you very much to my producer, Rob, on the other side of that wall for helping us get the show off the ground. We will, we're going to drop a little host. I love you, Matt. Thanks for spending time with us. Thanks, Jeffree Star. We're going to drop some hosts. So don't you guys go nowhere. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to find somebody playing a little Layers of Fear 2, and we'll pop in on them and see what's what. So, again, like I said, don't forget to tune in Thursday. We've got Tales from the Stream. Next week, we've got another episode of Beyond. This past broadcast will be up on YouTube shortly, and thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys.